Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've decided that I'm just gonna go with the assault rifle because it's what I used in the beta, and it's what I know how to use. I know what skills to get. I know what I'm going for, so I've got an advantage on spending my ability points wisely. There we go. I'm all loaded up, ready to kick some ass. See, Animus shot's the healing spell, or the healing skill for an assault rifle. And it just does not seem effective at all. I used it and it just didn't feel like it really worked. It didn't feel like it healed me much at all. I gotta get all these skills anyway to build up to the next level. Oh, that's cool. You can refund. I don't think that you were able to refund in the beta, but that it's gonna be useful.
This is the company line. You will use it to maintain contact in the field. Do you understand? That is all.
got rid of my assault rifle.
This is a test environment in more ways than one, my friend. In here, we have total control. We see a war play out exactly as we intended to. You will learn, and unless you offend me more than I can bear, little harm comes to you. It is not a substitute for the field, but forget the field for now. Think only of yourself, the weapons, the targets. Nothing else. Find your specialization. Harness your anima. When you have total control here, you will begin to understand total control outside. That is a goal for us both to work towards. Return whenever you wish.
Stand by for mind control.
No rest for the wicked.
You can have 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I fucking love old school hip-hop, don't you? Projecting indecision is a big no-no. Always smile. But this isn't another test. We don't do probation. You're either in or you're out. The Illuminati are very achievement-focused. It's like Xbox, only everything is hardcore. The ethic I really want to instill in you is to aim high and achieve even higher. It's not just in your best interest, it reflects on me, too, and that is super important. Make me look bad, I'll mount your head on my wall as an object lesson to the next fuck-up. God, it is so cute when you new guys think I'm kidding. Solomon Island. A little town and a preppy school with connections to us have kind of vanished off the coast of Maine. The people aren't a major deal. Do you know how many disappearances there are in the United States every year? We do. But our noses need to be totally clean on this one. The military are involved, and we have limited bandwidth to stall the shitheels at the DoD. Give an old dude a red button to press, it's like Viagra to them. I want you out on Solomon Island to assess the impact on our bottom line. You can skip the traffic and the quarantine by traveling through Argartha. Just use your initiative, but not too much initiative that comes across as desperate. Ciao, ciao. I was an ordinary valley girl. Major in human resources, daddy in real estate who paved our driveways with his gold cards and shitty cologne. Rest in peace. Until one night in the hills, a couple of guys who were up to no good fucked with the wrong girl. Frat boy necromancers. Ugh, the worst. Especially when they man up from sacrificing neighborhood pets to abducting undergrads. But they didn't check me for mace or duct tape, and the next thing you know, it's all, "You can't do this to us, bitch, we're Illuminati." Now, I got to thinking, A, if you're a member of a secret society, you should keep that to yourself. Even under torture. I mean, seriously, cry me a river. And B, only my friends call me bitch. Well, anyway, to cut a long, aggravated assault short, I realized Illuminati clearly needed to work on their employee handbook. Now, I had just graduated, just killed a few guys. I was looking for work placement. It was totally serendipitous. I mostly deal with the new talent, but the Labyrinth is our organization's brain trust. We bring in key opinion formers from across the board. Government agencies, the Senate, law firms, financial markets, mass media. What you're going to find is that individually, they're compromised by being drama queens or cokeheads or psychos. But try to appreciate the big picture. They're all part of a vast decision matrix, which you will only be involved in on the trickle-down level. I know that sounds like a submissive sex act, but don't take it personally. We're necessarily big on separation of responsibility. Otherwise, we just lose too much velocity on recriminations. See, back in the day, Illuminati were throwing each other under carriages, slipping rat poison in the absinthe 24/7. Infighting was really cutting into the bottom line. So we had to realign to a corporate model. Now there are due processes and risk management in place, a second-party group to handle terminations. We've turned vendetta into healthy internal competition. Healthy for the winners. The New York tunnels have been around longer than the city. When the Illuminati moved here, we hustled an architect over from Germany to do the sacred geometry of this place. It drove him crazy. He killed himself when the blueprints were finished, but you know how seriously creatives take everything. The design really was future-proof. This is all still the original spaces. We've centralized a lot, except the server farm keeps expanding. It's like a map painting from a 70s sci-fi movie. You can get lost in there. The rest of the maze you should be lucky enough to never see. The old detainment block and medical facility, that's questions and answers now. It's mostly soundproofed. Mostly. And some of the old board members keep suites way out in the wings. They're not big on FaceTime. They have extreme health issues, extreme privacy issues, extreme issues. Do us both a favor and stay in the main concourse. I understand you tested positive for magic powers. I'm not so into that stuff. I'm more of a .44 caliber girl. Just ask my ex-husband. Unless they're cleaning out his respirator tubes. But good for you. You're really going to be drinking from the weirdness fire hose. There's no acclimatization period. You used that up already. In all the time before our recruiter cold called. The world is a super messed up place. And you knew it when you were a kid. Or totally alone, or when you actually thought about it. So you didn't think about it. I'm not even laying an ice burn on you. Check me out. I grew up on the alien planet of California, and I didn't think about the Nevada Triangle, or that cult of Kali and Redondo Beach, the West Coast surfers of the apocalypse, and so on. It was easier that way. And in a very real sense, this is the message Illuminati have been sending to the masses. We think so they don't have to. We take enlightenment for the team. You had better not be having second thoughts. I am so not the rah-rah girl. Or if you want an Illuminati history lesson, then you need to understand history is adjustable. It blurs big time. When we tell people what to think today, what actually happened back then is no big whoop. All that matters is the future we're building. You're going to see that the Earth is up for inheritance, and the meek are shit out of luck. Only Illuminati have the capital, the network, and the drive for sweet success to really close the deal on this millennium. If you can keep up with the bleeding edge of a future-focused organization, we can use you in our new world order. If it turns out you can't, then there's room in history's grave for one more fossil. And no one will remember you. Yeah, that would suck. So work for us, and let us work for you. Because we're the conspiracy that's bringing sexy back. Have you seen the other guys' uniforms? Some Illuminati become emotionally compromised just hearing the name. I'm beyond it now. We're perfect and haters will hate, but I should make it very clear that the Templars started this. Red and blue, we never hit it off. Way before America, that was just sticking a fork in it and twisting. We're about power behind the throne. They want a double throne. We couldn't give a rat's ass what people do, as long as it's what they're told. They're control freaks. The saddest thing is, they haven't changed. If Templars got their way, which they did for a really long and boring stretch of history, we'd still be out tilling the soil. Good, honest work. Kept safe from this season's evil by the guys with the biggest swords. I've got nothing against judge, jury, and executioner. I loved RoboCop. It's so funny. But these goons with their fascist style guides and hard-on for Empire have dated so badly. This isn't a rivalry. It's euthanasia. It's our time. Ugh, talk about a non-starter. I don't want you reading any sign of weakness into me saying we've given up on the dragon, but we have basically given up on the dragon. They're the one that got away from the think tank. Anarchy is an analyst's nightmare. These guys are completely non-localized, completely independent. The top-down view is an aftermatch report from a game of Twister. One hand doesn't have any knowledge of the other. One's a rogue salaryman in Japan, the other's a hacker in Iceland or something. If we ever lucked out and busted a whole dragon cell, we got nothing. Not a single value proposition our interrogators could usefully apply. It was putting them in therapy. The interrogators. Totally wasted process. At the end of the day, we had to cut our losses. Admit that sometimes a society of crazy-town anarchists is just a society of crazy-town anarchists. We're still writing off investments to them every year. It's like a ninja tax. So, when you get the opportunity, inflict some buyback. The Phoenicians are pirates. I know. When I was first briefed, I was all, what, like Napster? But they're a lot less .com. As an operation, they haven't changed much in 3,000 years. Which goes to show what a growth industry theft and murder really represents. And they work hard to keep themselves at the top of that sector. We've outsourced operations to them before, but don't assume that makes us partners. It's a mercenary thing. A contractual thing. Phoenicians don't take sides. Only Swiss bank transfers. There's a big diplomatic gray area around them, since no one can be seen openly associating with Phoenician agents, even though they're sitting right there on the Council of Venice, comparing tattoos and prison scars. Currently, there's nothing on the table between us, so I really want to encourage negative trust in any encounters. I guarantee you'll meet them soon enough. They have a gift for sniffing out trouble spots. I'll observe and report, and then shanking at the first sign of weakness. Come to think of it, they'd make great paparazzi. If there's one good thing about democratic bodies, it's that they can be rigged. But that's the one good thing. We're responsible adults. We don't need big grandfather checking up on us. In writing. I mean, it's actual letters with wax seals. I'm serious. It's like being door-knocked by Renaissance fair. Venice, the Venusians, whatever, they're a power trip with no power. The peace they think they maintain is a joke. It always has been, and they're the last to get it. Even the Templars hate them. And when the dudes in capes and armor say you're out of touch, you know, ouch. The reality is that the modern world keeps shrinking, and none of the societies are big on sharing. We pay lip service to Venice laws because you shouldn't make fun of the elderly. Also, they just eat up FUD tactics, and then all of a sudden there's an inquisition or a war in Asia.
Be aware that security codes have been updated.
Any government you can bend is a useful government, but usefulness wears out. If you run into any problems, solve them, then call me.
Hello? Yes? Now this is the Hollow Earth, Argartha. I do hope you're not here for the local service. It's running somewhat tardy. And by my watch, it's 100 years overdue at 1/4 the hour. Judging from the cut of you, you're more of a world traveller. Well, you've come to the right place. This underground realm, like the Great British Rail System, is the very model of efficiency. Argartha's thoroughfares sprout from the Tree of Life and connect back to the surface. Distance and time bend in here. Why, you can cross the globe in a brisk walk. Of course, it's perfectly safe. No one's entirely sure how it works. Quite bedeviled, the science boffins, but I'm assured they have their top men on it. Top men. Now, you'll need one of these. Mind your fingers. Thank you. Fascinating devices. Fortunately, there's still enough to hand out like sweets. Consider it your anchor to the hollow earth. It can return you here in a flash, proverbially and quite literally. Well then, onwards to the New England coast, what?
How did he know I was going to the New England coast?
Come along, come along.
Jeez, look at all the people here. It's so crowded.
I suppose one day my services will no longer be required to man the platforms. Modernisation encroaches on us all. Ticket machines, indeed. Good for addition, I don't doubt. Always with the correct change. Yet somewhat lacking in the human touch. Like my thunderous mechanical companions here. Oh, I doff my cap to them, though. For how many centuries they patrolled these stations alone, who can say? I pride myself on punctuality and dedication. They are the original article. What faces they must have seen. Many gentlemen explorers, ladies too, have stepped before you into Argartha's honeyed halls. That pleasant Norwegian chap, for one. Amundsen. Yes, you're in fine company. Fine company indeed. I vouch a ticket machine wouldn't tell you that. You'll get used to the balmy temperature. It's for the bees. They prefer it. Their honey is remarkable, though the aftertaste... a little like machine oil. Her Majesty once commented favourably on Argartha to me. A work of quite miraculous craftsmanship. I believe to tour it was one of her few joys after Albert passed. Well, try not to approach all this as something unnatural. It may not follow the, accepted theories of the Earth's consistency. I assure you, though, it is very much a part of our world. Over the years, these halls have expanded and contracted with the growth of the tree. Like breathing, I expect. Fresh branches find their way to the surface, to many different surfaces. The older growth, further down, leads to other places in other times. Stacked like those Russian dolls that were all the rage in Paris. Why, I encountered myself as a young man once. Curious thing. Topside speaking, I admit to falling a touch behind the times. Out of date. Well, you understand, though, a massive flora-mechanical network won't run itself. One always finds something needing doing down here. I'm certainly more of a groundsman than an engineer. And were we vanished from the world, perish the thought, Argartha would still perpetuate. A golden age without tarnish. I say without tarnish, but in confidence, troubling events are afoot. Tremors like a distant thunder. outpourings of an horrific black water. I believe it gathers far beneath us in great reservoirs. And yet I haven't the nerve to put that theorem to the test. Well, listen to me go on about the rot in the Tree of Life. You have so many pressing cloak and dagger affairs to see to up there in the world of man. I shouldn't think there's anything to worry about. Not yet. Toodle pip.
Well, I'm gonna end the video right here. So until next time, everyone, take care and have a great day.